Morning, Chrissy. Morning, Trudy. How are you today? I'm just cutting out a swimsuit. If only life was that simple. Isn't that cute? Morning, Judy. Your order will come out today, Judy. I didn't get a delivery until 6:20 last night. So, needless to say, at 6:20 last night, I couldn't go to the post office. So, your order will come out today. I'll do it when we've finished here. Morning, Caroline. Morning, Susan. Morning, sweetheart. How are you? You've been quiet this week. Right, I shouldn't really sit here and cut out. Look, I've got another couple of them. I don't know whether I'll use them or not, but they look cute, don't they? These are from the Summertime Extras, and it's got the Summertime polkas on it as well. It's really cute, isn't it? Right, anyway, let's get on with the job in hand. Throw those somewhere. Put them there. Okay, so where are we at? I've got to scroll, haven't I? Hi, Sue. Right, while we're waiting for people to join, what I'll do is I'll just give you a bit of a reminder. So, of some of the things that you can watch at some point using these. So I'll just lay this on top. Hopefully you can see that. This is the demo that I did when we launched the Summer Fashionistas last, when was it? When did we launch them? I think it was Friday, wasn't it? Yeah, Friday. So Friday the 14th of August. So you can go back onto hochanda.com and click on the TV schedule button. And then if you scroll back to August the 14th, and this was at 1 o'clock. So you'll be able to watch me make this in its entirety. The only thing I've added since then are some, in fact, I've just coloured in the little hearts on the For You. So this is the Summertime Fabulous stamp set, and it's got some of the foliage in there, the Summertime foliage, and it's got the Summertime polkas, and it's got some of the papers from the polkas and pinstripes, and it's got elegance flowers, enchanted flowers, blah blah blah, lots of dies and things, but so you can see that is in its entirety. Then at 5 o'clock I did this chappie. Obviously I haven't finished him because I've got dirty fingerprints on it, so I may well just cut out various different elements and use various elements on something else. But I showed you in the 5 o'clock hour how to put this together and how to do your masking and your stamping within the surfboards. So you can watch that back at 5 o'clock on the 14th. And then what else did I do? When I did a Facebook Live on Sunday, I did this card here, amongst other things. I was playing around with various other things as well. And so you can watch this back either on the video section, on my Julia Watts Crafts Facebook page, or on my Julia Watts YouTube channel. I put it on there as well. And this is your gorgeous summer. And all the colouring in has been done with the set 3 from the watercolour blending brush pens, and we've got some oxides there in the backgrounds, and we've used the Summertime polkas again, and the linen background on there again, lots of dies and things. So you can watch that back at your leisure. It's an hour and a quarter though, so you might want to grab a couple if you do that. Also, in that same hour, I started this one as well. So basically it was showing you the background and stamping, that's the linen background, and stamping the sentiments around the edge from the Summer Fashionistas. And all I've done since then is I've added some cameras and some flip-flops using the Verdant and the Summertime Versifying Clay, which you can buy from me on my juliawattscrafts.co.uk website. And I've also added a sentiment on there, and I've coloured in my girly. This is, again, the Summertime Fabulous. So you can watch most of that back as well. So that's that one. And these all will be blogged at some point. And also on Sunday, when we went through a Facebook Live, I also showed you the Sound of Summer papers by Ciao Bella. I've actually made a couple of cards up so far, and they are very, very quick to make because your background's there made up already. So all I've done is taken one of the papers. I've decided which image I wanted. Now I needed to be careful that I didn't have the seagull actually flying out of the back of her head, because that might have looked a bit strange. So obviously with your positioning, work out where they are. Don't have them walking in the sea, that sort of thing. But this is one of the Ciao Bella papers, and this sentiment is actually from the back of the front sheet. So everything on there is from Ciao Bella, aside from your Fashionista. And this is the Sunshine Happy. And again, colouring in with the watercolour blending brush pens. It's stamped on the super smooth card. So that makes an instant card for you. Be lovely in a journal or a piece of art. I mean, the sentiment's very apt. And then I've made one more so far. This one, and this is actually from the front cover. It's from the front panel on the front cover, and this is from the back of the front cover. And you can see you've got a scene made all in one there, and obviously I've coloured in again the summertime, gorgeous summer image to coordinate using the blending brush pens. But I think that makes a really nice piece of wall art, or obviously a card if you want it as a card. So I just thought I'd show you those very quickly. Like I say, they'll all be blogged at some point, so you'll have all the information. But the Ciao Bella paper pad, Sound of Summer, is available on my website, julietwattscrafts.co.uk. So we've got a few more people watching now, so we'll actually make a start. So I've got one or two bits and pieces out here that we're going to use. Hopefully I won't lose them. Let's see how anybody's... Hi Grace, Janice, hiya Leslie. I think I've just posted something out to you, Leslie. Brain dumping. Yeah, I wish I had a brain. Migraine weather at the moment. Really bad migraine yesterday. Right, okay, so we're going to start by stamping our Summery BeYOUtiful. And she's going to go on a piece of the super smooth watercolour card. This is hot press card, so it's perfect for your stamping, nice and smooth for your stamping, and great for your watercolour blending brush pens. And it's a really heavyweight cardstock, so it takes lots and lots of water. I'm going to use my stamp press, as always, on big stamps, just in case I miss a bit. And just pop her into the corner, then I can reseat her as well if I need to. And with the DL stamps, these are all DL stamps, you'll find that if you just cut a piece of A4 card into 3, then you'll get 3 images on there. On some of the skinnier ones that don't have bits sticking out, then you'll get 2 on a DL if you want to cut them out. So let's try and grab her. There she is. Peel her off. Be careful of her arm when you're peeling her off. I mean, they are quite robust stamps, but you don't want to damage her. Let's move that out of the way so it's not in her hair. Okay. And I'm going to use the Nocturne VersaFine Clear. Now, as I do say quite regularly, what I like to do is actually stamp them and cut them out and then colour them, because I have a tendency to cut bits off I shouldn't. And there's nothing worse than spending hours colouring in, although these don't take hours, and then finding that you're chopping something off that you shouldn't. But you do need to make sure that your ink is dry. If I wanted to cut this one out straight away, I'd probably use Archival instead. But I do find that VersaFine Clear does stamp better than Archival for me nowadays. But it's very juicy, which does mean that you can emboss it if you want to. I think it's inked within an inch of its life. Give her a good press all over her limbs. Down her legs. There we go. There she is. Cool. Right, I'm going to put her to one side so I can cut her out another time. And we'll go to one that I've already cut out. Here she is. Oh, magnet. I'll lose that if I don't put it back. Okay, so we do, obviously I've not done any colouring in here, so we'll quickly colour her in, or at least start to. So I'm going to actually start it the way Trudy does, and I'm going to actually start with the skin this time. Because I did find out that the problem is if you colour in your skin second, sometimes you might pick up, if you're using deep colours, you might pick up a colour that that bleeds into it. So we just do the skin first. So I'm using one of the pens, this lightest colour, lightest kind of pink peach blush or whatever it's called, colour from the set 3, and I do have some set 3s in stock. And you get a couple of water brushes, and this is the kind of medium tip. In fact, this medium tip goes into such a nice tip that you can actually colour everything in with this tip. So I'm just going to go in roughly, and you can be very rough with this because of the sketchy feel. I like to say that because you get away with murder when you say it's a sketchy thing, so you don't have to be perfect, which is just brilliant. I think she's holding out a hand here. You could put her with say Totally Cool, which is one of the guy ones, and she could be pushing him away. No, talk to the hand, the face ain't listening, or whatever you say. Where is he? Here he is, look. Yeah, no, don't want to talk to you. Go away, leave me alone. You can start your own storybook up. It might not be a children's storybook. So, I mean, a lot of you should have had your come on, playback. I'm having lots of trouble with my Mac at the moment. Yeah, lots of you should be getting your stamps now and starting to play. Don't forget to share your makes on the Crafting with Sentimentally Yours Phil Martin and Sentimentally Yours page. Hopefully you're all members there now. If you're not, just ask to join. But do remember that it is all about Sentimentally Yours. So it's really all about using Phil's dies, using Phil and Trudy's stamps, and sharing the inspiration. That's what the group want to see. They want to see inspiration made with the products that Phil comes out with, and I can pick up tips from you as well. So there she is. She's got one leg darker than the other there, so let's put a bit more onto my blending mat. So I'm just using the small blending mat here like a palette, and you do find that if you do this, you can reactivate the colours that are on there. So whatever you don't use isn't she's quite orange in places. She's obviously been in the sun. Whatever you don't use, you can reactivate, which is just marvellous. So we're going to use, the colours I'm going to use on my background are Speckled Egg and Scattered Straw. So we're going for this pale blue from set 2, and we're going for a sort of a pale yellowy orange from this set here. I hope this is the one I want to use. I've lost my swatch that's told me which one I wanted to use. Let's have a look. That's a bit orangey though. Hang on, I might change my mind. I might use this one instead. Yeah, I'll use that one instead. I do whenever I get a new set, I do swatches and draw them out with colour as well. So let's put him out of the way because she's not having any of him. She's not interested in him. And we'll go for our yellow. So I'm not too sure where this ends, but we'll just go up there, I think. Very roughly, drawing the lines around. quite dark in my craft room today, I don't know why, because the sun's been out. And that's going to be grey, or blue rather. So just laying some colour on. That's her hair. So I haven't got the original card to look at, because Phil's got that, or he will have. Alright, so now we're going to just scribble some onto my mat, just in case I need it, might not. And then move the colour around. Make sure my water brush is going. This is colouring in the quickest, loosest sense of the word. You can go back and put extra layers on if you want to. Make sure you're dragging it all in. This is where I might need some more. I'm not being especially careful, because I don't need to be. A little bit more here. That looks good to me. Make sure this is running. And then the sleeve. I might just leave her just quite sketchy actually and not do a second coat. But what I'm going to do now is leave her, because I want that to dry before I go on with the blue and before I do her hair. I've only got to do those and her shoes, so that won't take very long. But I want to make sure that the colours don't merge, and if the water's moved into the other areas, then I'm going to get some spillage. So I'm going to put that to one side for now. Go on to our background. Pull her up there. And I've already started my background. Oh, I didn't get those stamps out. Hold music, as it would say. What did I do with them? Must be here somewhere. Hang on a minute, I'm going to have to get up. How rude. Right at the bottom of my box. Let's see what you're saying. Warwickshire Hill. Ooh, you must be on holiday then, Teresa. That's nice. I could do with a holiday. Good advice from Trudy. Start with the skin. We'll see. Right, so this is settling down a bit actually. She's not looking quite so orange as she was, because it blends into the card. Right, so we're using the stitching borders, and the stitching borders were released when we did the original Fashionistas back in April. But I didn't get them until quite late, so I think and we were doing video demonstrations at the time because of COVID-19. So I only actually did one demonstration with this set, so they haven't really had a proper outing, and in fact I didn't actually get to demonstrate them this week either, so I thought we'd do them now. So I did have a demo prepped, but it's very hard to squeeze everything in just 2 hours. It is quite nice actually doing the Facebook Lives, because it means I can just take my time and show you properly. So it's a big stamp, very big stamp, A5 in length almost, and I did put my blocks where they're accessible. I'm going to use a long, I've got a DL one somewhere, but I'm going to use my grid block, which doesn't fit, just so I can try and get it straight. So I've got a little bit hanging off each end. It doesn't matter because I'm only doing an A5 piece of card anyway. So you can see that's A5 in width, that's A5 in length. So they are very, very big stamps. And I like that. I like them to be, I'd much rather have them longer so that I don't have to try and do a join if I want to do this size, this width. For me, if I've only got one that's that wide and I have to join it there, I'm not going to get it right. So I prefer to have it this width, Mr. M, just saying. So there he knows, I've said it. We'll be witnesses. So we're using Speckled Egg, which is the latest oxide. There is another release of oxides which are going to be revealed on the 26th, and I will be pre-ordering them. Hopefully I'll get them earlier this time, because the company I normally order from I wasn't able to pre-order from them, but I have actually got a form this time, so I can actually pre-order from them, so I should get them earlier. I know what I mean. So going with Speckled Egg, it's very juicy because it's a new one. Lovely grey blue colour. Stand up so I can see what I'm doing, hopefully around this camera. Now I'm not too worried. Can you see where this is kind of wiggly, so we can actually sit the wiggles inside one another, if I can see what I'm doing. This might not be brilliant because I'm seeing around the camera, which is why I've suddenly got loud. But we're gonna put something in that gap anyway. But it might be a wonky gap. Yep, told you, wonky gap. Look how good that gap is there, and look how wonky that is there. That's because I'm working around a phone. That's my excuse. And it's actually true. Right, so we're going again. But this time we're going to change it up a little bit. So this one's going to fit, so it goes like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some scattered straw, which is a lovely yellow, and I'm going to bring that in towards the bottom. Don't worry about that. They sort themselves out. Don't ask me how, they just do. It's very clever, this ink. So it's a pigment ink, Stress Oxide, and I think it's everybody's favourite ink now. Squeaky desk. There we go. So we're changing our colour now. So I've got to mist this now. Now where's my mister? Do you know, I thought I had everything out that I needed. I've got a mister here somewhere on this desk. Hang on, let me look. Yeah, there I have. There, see, I've got everything. Everything I need. Except I don't have my towel. Let me go and get my towel. Right, so if I don't clean this off now, all I'm going to get is kind of a greeny colour, because I'm mixing a blue with a yellow, and I don't want that. I'm already starting to fade, so I want to go from this green into yellow, into proper yellow. So just misted it with water, wipe it off with a towel. Obviously you can run it under a tap at home. I'm at home, but obviously I'm not going to go and disappear for ages. Make sure it's dry. So finish with the Speckled Egg and now, and we're going to go with our scattered straw. So the idea, when I thought about this background, I was actually thinking of Phil's Watercolour Shores papers that he did as an exclusive with the magazine box kit, and the colours that were in there. So I thought that this would be like the blue sky and the sea, and then faded into the sand, but obviously doing it with the stitching borders. That was the thought behind it. Let's see if I can get this one lined up right. He has actually maybe got a few of the paper packs available on his website, so go and have a look at Honeypot Crafts website, and he might have some of the Watercolour Shores available separately now. I think it's just the last of what he's got. So that's now changed. Got a little bit of what's it left in there, but that's fine. A bigger gap that time. I think that's come off there, but that's fine. I can live with that. The sand's not pure yellow, is it? I wonder what the new colour of distress will be. Hope it's a nice one. They're all useful though, every single one of them. And then this is the last one. So this is this is the sort of length that you need to work with your Fashionistas, because they're 16 centimetres tall, so they are quite tall. So there we go, there's my background. Okay, wash that in a minute. I do need to make sure that I clean my mat. This is funny. This I don't think this is my proper towel. But see this here, that there, that purple. That's Pentart Media Mist, not the inks, not the alcohol inks, but it's the misters that Leonie had on her Pentart One Day Special last week. And this has been washed umpteen times at 40 degrees and it's still there. So that just shows you the how much pigment and how you can actually use the Pentart mists on fabric. It's interesting, isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, so there's my background. Don't know why that's suddenly really wet. There's my background, and I've got one that I did earlier. Oh no, I haven't finished yet. Oh, talking about Pentart, put me off. Is that one be wide enough? No, it's not. I need this one. I need this one again. Oh, I need that again in a minute, actually. Oh, see, a week goes by and I forget what I'm doing. Let's clean this off a minute. Got nothing to look at, have you? Look at that. Right, yes, because I'll need that again in a minute. Right, so we're going to fill in the gaps, but we're going to fill in the gaps with another of the stamps. So I went for this one here, which is like a I suppose a ruched lace kind of effect. Could be any of them at all. And I did have and you'll find if you look on my blog, there is one. Just search for stitching borders. There's one where I did this background virtually the same, but I did it with a red, and I also put some of the indigo blue mica powder on top, the luscious powder on top, and I used this one here, that one, for the joins, and I did it with one of the original Fashionistas. So to fill in the gaps, we're going to bring in brush corduroy, because I think brush corduroy fits with this kind of colour scheme quite nicely. This is brown, obviously. Well, I don't know if it's obvious, because brush corduroy can be any colour, can't it? At least it used to be in the 70s and 80s. Give it a good old ink in, and then we're going to just pop this in the gap. Might not be perfect, because I'm not bothering to stand up. But we're going to just pop it in the gap, and it'll make it look more natural, and it'll hide any mistakes that you make. And you could, if you wanted to, you could actually pull some of that colour out if you wanted, because it will move. We can put some splodges on here as well in a minute, so we will do that just to make it look slightly different, because I'm not using this one. So we want one here as well. And what we do is we cut this out. I've got one that's cut out already. So I would suggest that what you do is, because oxide, even like a day later, will still move around a bit, I suggest you put a piece of paper between your between this and your die and the mat, because otherwise you have to clean your mat from your die cutting machine, which is a bit of a nuisance. And if you don't remember to do it, then it'll be on your next piece of work. And also be careful if you're cutting anything out that you stamp with VersaFine Clair as well, because that stays wet for ages. Okay, so there's our border going on. So move that out of the way, wash that in a minute. And if we wanted to do some little splits, little splats, we could do happy clappy. I'd like to do it like that. Hey, that's how I like it. Or you could just flick it on, and it'll just give you some splodges. So if we then take a piece of kitchen roll, it'll just disturb some of the ink. It's like I didn't get many splodges on there. All to one side. Don't know if we can see that. Probably not. It's quite a nice background though, isn't it? And if we wanted to, like I say, what we could do is we could take our water brush, get it moving, and we could actually move some of this brown around. Obviously it's going to merge with the other colours as well, but then this will highlight this area a little bit more. Just moving the yellow as well. Just do this one. So you can see that is more prominent than that, because we've actually moved it around with the water. That's just another little idea. Okay, so I'll put that to one side because we've finished with that. And we're going to go back to our girly. Need that, don't need that. You could of course colour her in with your oxides as well, but just be careful because it's an opaque ink. You may well lose some of your line art, so you might be better if you want to use distress colouring in with regular distress, but that will not move and blend as well as using your watercolour brush pens. Let's see what else you're saying. Yeah, I know, but unfortunately TV hits more people than Facebook Live. I mean, I'm responding to Leslie here. I mean, currently I've only got 27 people watching, but we're looking at thousands when we're on the TV. So there's your difference. What's everybody saying? You do learn a lot from fellow crafters, but I mean, I have to say that I think I tend to give you more chance to learn. I mean, I watch Leonie a lot, an awful lot. I learnt a lot from Leonie when she did her pen art shows. So we're going in with this light blue, and this light blue is from the set 2. And you will be able to buy set 2 soon, I hope. Certainly before the end of the year, so you can fill in any gaps with your collections, and also set 1 as well, and set 4 will be coming at some point as well, and then you'll have all of them, so you can do some lovely blends, and then you can sort them out. Right, let's see where we're going here. So we've got a little bit on here as well. Doesn't matter that this is going to be a bit greeny. And a little bit here. You can see this is very, very simple colouring in. Anybody can do this. I don't know if Alison's watching, but if Alison's watching, anybody can do this. I think Alison's at work actually. So, and don't forget that you can always go back and watch all of the Facebook Lives. So there's quite a few Facebook Lives using this, you know, like the 20s and the original Fashionistas, and of course Kai and Heidi from the Christmas collection. So there's quite a lot for you to watch. Also on my YouTube channel. So no, I don't want that one, do I? That's not Phil's, is it? On my YouTube channel as well, all of the VTs that I did for during lockdown, where we couldn't go in the studios, I put those all onto my YouTube channel. So just pulling the colour out a little bit. It's a very, very pale blue, this one, so if you want it darker, then just go in again with the second coat, or even the third coat as well, and that's going to darken it up. I haven't actually scribbled any of this onto my blending mat. I think I'll just leave it like this, actually, nice and pale. I think this will coordinate. It did last time. Last time I did a little bit of grey as well, because it's not a blue, the speckled egg. There is in all the new distress, you do get there's oxides, there's your embossing glaze, there's your re-inkers, there's lots of different things, but I tend to just get the ones I've named, actually, the oxide, the regular distress ink, the oxide spray, and the embossing glaze. I think those are the 4 most popular. If there's anything else that you'd like me to get instead, or as well as, then just tell me pretty quickly though, because I need to order the next colours of distress very soon. And just do her shoes to coordinate, because she's a very coordinated lady. Okay, I think I might I've gone outside the line. At least I can see today. I couldn't see yesterday because of my migraine. Right, so put that away, and we're going to do some hair. Let's go for slightly darker hair this time. So just take one of the browns, and it's a very sketchy hair. So just taking it neat onto a hair, following some of the lines. Look how easy this is. I must thank Trudy for doing these, because these are easy to colour in. The Christmas ones take a little bit longer to colour in. They're a little bit smaller, a bit more detailed, but they are an absolute joy to colour in because they're beautiful. Oh, I think I might have had part of her dress there, but we're just going to pretend all that's hair. I've decided. It is all hair, isn't it? It can be whatever you want it to be. And we're going with this light colour here, just to blend it. So I'm just blending the pens with each other here, because you can do that. You don't have to blend it with water, you can just blend the pens together as well. Because it is quite a unique ink that's in these pens. There we go, and she's coloured in. Don't worry if there's some little white bits, and she's not. I keep on forgetting about this bit. That's just because I don't think I've had hair ever this long, so I forget about this bit under here. But there she's all coloured in. We could do cheeks and all sorts of things, but I don't tend to do that. Right, okay, so she's done. So we're going to go to our background. Oh, and we've got to do a little bit more stamping as well. So we'll go to where we're at first. So I've got my background, which I've cut out with the double debossed essential rectangles, and they are back in stock. And I've edged it with the speckled egg on the bottom as well, all the way. And I haven't coloured in those gaps at all, but you can see the graduation of colour. And I've got an eyelet rectangle here on the back, and I've used the I think this is the cobalt blue. Can't remember. I think it's the cobalt blue. I don't have imperial. I only just got imperial blue actually, so I know it must be cobalt blue. Because imperial blue is just a darker version of the cobalt blue. So we're going to just pop that in there like that. Now obviously I'm working with what I'd already prepped. Now if I wanted to change this up and to make it look totally different from the original one, then I could have done cut this out with an oval, whereas I'd have to go a bit bigger with the oval so she'd fit, because my oval that I could put in here wouldn't fit properly. The stamping's not perfect. I can feel a little bit sticky there as well from the low-tack tape, but we'll just ignore that. So she's going to go on there at some point. But just to make it slightly different from the original, what I have done is cut a frame using the oval. And this two adjacent eyelet ovals, I'm going to say rectangles then, eyelet ovals. Or you could use an outer eyelet oval and an inner regular double debossed oval, because the sizes are exactly the same. So you can do your mats and layers, or you can actually cut them exactly the same size, and I could have had like say white going underneath there, or almond, which is what I've used on the back. So anyhow, what we're going to do is we're going to pop her on there and perhaps have her a little bit offset from her oval. I think she'll look nice like that. And I've got a sentiment here, which is the eyelet ovals, and exactly the same size of the double deboss, and then I can put those together, and she's going to be kind of pointing towards that, and then we're going to have our flowers down here. That's where we're going with this. So we've got to obviously stamp a sentiment, and I've got to stamp my flowers as well, but we can pop her down and the oval down right now. It's nice to play with your dies in a slightly different way. And I'm just using Phil's PVA glue, which is in stock on my website. I imagine it's in stock on Phil's website as well, but you know, if you're watching on my page, it's on my website. Now we could have cut this out with double-sided adhesive, but I will actually give you a little bit of a warning that if you are cutting out, I mean these aren't intricate dies per se, but it's got lots and lots of little bits that you need to poke out. If you cut it out with a double-sided adhesive, you're going to have a lot of poking out to do, because the double-sided adhesive will not fall out of your little circles. So just a warning. So that's going to go just there like that. Hopefully it's straight. I never know with ovals. Sometimes they're on the wonk. And then I'm going to pop her on with... See, I didn't do a very good stamp there. 2 sides of a piece of card. I'm going to grab some foam tape. Scissors under there. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. This is reasonably quick, this card, and of course I'm not going off at many tangents this time for a change. I do have post to do though, that's the thing, because it didn't come till yesterday night. Right, little pads, that's what I want. I hate getting deliveries really late in the day. It means I'm sending something out a day later than I should be, but it happens. I'll do a little one down on the foot because I don't want a foot flying around. This one here, right. Okay. Should I put one on her arm? Let's put one on her arm as well. No, because I'm going to glue that. Yes, I'm going to glue that one for now. So talking to myself all the time. Use scissors to cut out your stamped image. Yes, I do. The scissors I use to cut out my stamped image are these, which are Oakwood Archer. I've just bought a second set actually because they had those and these for less than a tenner on one of them 7-day saver things. Absolute bargain. So I could use those, and when I get to the point where I can't use those anymore, then I use some of the Tim Holtz little snips. I got these on Amazon and they were really, really, really cheap. One of the Indigo Bluebirds spotted it, so we all bought some. But I prefer these if I can, because these are serrated, and I don't like to see serrated edges on the images that I cut out. I also cut out leaving a little white border around. There's a little bit of hair there that I haven't done. What colour did I use? Was it that one? This could be a disaster. There we go. Yeah, I like to leave a little white border around, because then I can get away with not cutting perfectly. If you're cutting exactly on the line, I struggle a bit to cut it neatly exactly on the line. So when Kathy was on the TV yesterday, I think she did, not yesterday, day before, I think she did that with her new stuff as well. She cut them out with a bit of a border. It is easier to do that, but it doesn't always fit sometimes. Depends on what you're doing. Sometimes you need to cut it out perfectly. So that's what I use. Because I don't have one of them there scan and cut thingies. I don't have room for anything like that. I've got Cricut in the garage, which I don't use. Right, there's, she's going there. And then she's going to have her sentiment here. Right, so let's get that sentiment stamped. And we'll stamp our flowers, and then we'll be done. So I've already edged this with speckled egg and stamp set. I'll put them down somewhere. Let's see if one of these will fit. Dreamy, stay cool. That's not going to fit. Girls rule, they certainly do. Absolutely. Beautiful. That'll just about fit, I think. Let me have another look. Will I lose a bit? I might lose a bit. So what I might go with is... Oh, dithery, 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 dithery. Shall I put... I'm going to use that one. I like that one. It's getting hot now. I'm going to use my grid block again. These are Tim Holtz grid blocks. I know it's not Phil's block, but I find it easier with my sentiments to have lines on my block. because I can't do things straight. And let's put that down there, and we're going with our Nocturne Versifying Clear, and hopefully I won't smudge it. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down first and then stamp on top, because I'm going to go down flat. I can stamp on top and hopefully not make a mess of it, but also I'm less likely to smudge it because I need to handle it a little bit less. Obviously, normally what I would do is stamp it, have it put to one side, and maybe leave it till the next day before I do it. But we're not in an ideal situation when we're trying to show you stuff. So, BeYOUtiful. She's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's see if I can get this straight. Hopefully you can see. Try and get my bee on. There we go. Give it a chance to sit. Have fun, Janice. Lady that lunches. That's nice, isn't it? There we go. That's perfect. Perfect. Right, so just for my flowers, I'm only going to show you a couple because we're nearly there. So for the these ones, these are your elegance flowers. We need to go back to our background, and I did do this at the same time as I did my others. Got inky fingers. So you can do it while your stamp's still wet. Now on these, I'm not going for perfect. I'm going for a bit grungy. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is just take this stitching border that I used on my background and think about which way I did it. Now I want to do the other side, don't I? Do I? Yeah, I want to do the other side. See? Been to bed since I did this card. I've forgotten. I want to do this side. Just because I'm right-handed, it fits better me doing this side. So I'm just going to press that into the petal. And see, it's picked it up onto the other one, but that's fine. Like I say, we're going for... You could do masking, you know, you can, but when you're doing loads of flowers, you don't want to be a little bit grungy. Fine, you wait till they're made. I'll show you them made up. They're really lovely. It's also better on bigger ones, but I've got my bigger ones for my card. So this is the fourth petal. So there's my stamp. What's it to that flower? Oh, brain. So there's my stamp flower. It'll look fabulous when it's made up. It's a little bit grungy, but it's got colour on it, it's got pattern on it. That's what I wanted. So that's that one. Then for my these ones, this is the enchanting. So we got the elegance flower and we got the enchanting flower. And they fit together. Obviously I wouldn't use those two together because that's far too big to go in the centre of that, because that's how I want to use it. But I'll show you what I did with this one. So on this one I used my linen background, and this is the only background I've sold out of, which is I'm a little bit loath to use this one, but I'm gonna, because that's what I want to use on my card. I will be getting some more of these in, but it might not be until I receive Phil's next release, which will be the beginning of September. So this is your linen and doodle stripes, and I did pull out a block for this, didn't I? I did. So this is an A6 background. You get two A6 backgrounds. So in this set you get these two. They're just under A6 and they're clear stamps. And what we're going to do is we're going to use scatter straw because that's the other colour that we had on our background. And we're just going to add a little bit to the middle. Obviously you can do more than one flower at once. I'm actually going to give it a little mist. And then we can stamp our flower. And pop it off. Oh, there we go. There's that. Obviously I've moved it twice again, so you got a little bit of extra stamping, but there's our flower. That's how I did my 2 lots of flowers. Let's see whether we got a mess here or not. Let's clean that up. And then, where's my box? Oh, sorry, just knocked the camera. So here's my little flowers. So you can see, but even though they're not perfectly stamped in the background, they look absolutely fabulous. I think they do anyway. So to shape them, all you need to do is grab your tweezers. So in the Sentimental Yours tweezer kit, you've got 3 different sets of tweezers. You've got the kind of pick up pearl kind of shape ones. You've got the pointy ones, which is what we're going to use, and then you've got these. I use these to pick up my pearls, the flat ones, and they've all got these little guards on them. Try not to lose the guards. I don't know how I've still got the guards. I lose them every single time I use them. But so anyway, to shape your flowers, all we're doing is we're just popping the tweezers in there, and unlike the card that I showed you on Sunday, we're having the flowers going this way, so that when we pop them together, they'll look different to the ones that we had on Sunday. And all you do is just pop one of those inside one of those, and sometimes 2 of those inside those. So there's your flowers. Okay. And then that, practice what I teach. And we've also got some lush leaves in here, a pair of lush leaves out of the almond hue card, because the almond hue card is going to work really nicely, because in the background I've used the super smooth, and the almond hue is going to match really nicely with it. So we're going to have our, try not to smudge the sentiment, Julie, we're going to have our sentiment going just there like that, because she's kind of pointing to it. So we need some foam tape just on the back, and I'm using woodware foam tape. I'm just going to grab a little bit of glue on my finger. Try and get to the end of my glue. I've got plenty of glue, but I might like to make sure I use it all. Just going to put a little bit of glue just on her hand there. So that we can pop, let's see if I'm straight, we can pop that there and that just there like that, and then we're going to pop our flowers on and our leaves on. Don't know how many of these, I'm probably not going to use all these flowers, so we'll only put glue on 3 of them, I think. Lost my picture again on my Mac. These things are sent to try us. I've had to move my printer downstairs because it had limited connectivity, and I've only had it upstairs for over 2 years. No, just over 12 months, and it's been fine. I can't print out my invoices without my printer working. Make it big again. Obviously this card you can make with any of the Fashionistas. You can use it with the Roaring 20s and the, you know, the original ones, whatever you want really. So let's have this going up there like that. Haven't really placed these yet, but hopefully we'll be alright. And I'm just going to have that down by a foot like that, and then we'll have the big one in here, and then the next size one is going to come down here, maybe, if it wants to, and then we'll have another one just up here. I think that might be it. It might just be 3 flowers on this one. Yeah, we don't need those, we can use those for something else. and then all I would do is just pop a pearl in each corner, and then that one would be finished. No, I know Phil puts a lot of flowers on his card. Flowers take ages. Let's see if I can position that so you can see properly. Yeah, it's quite good to mix your flowers shapes, and also mix your colours on them, your stamps on them. Obviously we've not used any background paper on this at all, so everything is completely handmade. The beautiful dies, the beautiful stamps, it all makes a really lovely card, I think. So thank you very much for watching, and I'm not sure when I'll do another live. I will try and do one. Phil's next stamps are due out on the 28th of August, and he's doing a weekend wow on Hochanda. Phil will be there Friday and Saturday. I can't remember the times at the moment, but he's there Friday and Saturday. He's got 2 hours each day, and then I'm there on the Sunday if he's left me any stock. And I know my hours, I think my hours are 1 and 7 p.m. So he'll be doing a Facebook Live this weekend, probably on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Obviously he won't be able to do one the following weekend because he'll be at Hochanda, but I'll see if I can do one either on the Friday or the Saturday, a week tomorrow or a week on Saturday with that release, so that gives you something else to look at. So that will probably be my next live. In the meantime, I may or may not record some techniques to pop onto my YouTube channel. But I might not be able to put them live until after the 28th anyway, because I might be using some of the new stamps. But thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that you can find all the products that I've used on juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and I'm going to disappear off and sort out my post. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye.